Why is it that when you ghost someone, you expect them to be crushed, devastated, sitting by their phone waiting for you to come back? You disappear without a word, thinking you hold all the power, believing that your absence will somehow make you more desirable. But here's the brutal truth that's going to sting. She's not missing you at all. And that realization, it's eating you alive. You thought ghosting was your power move. You thought silence would make you mysterious, that disappearing would somehow elevate your value in her eyes. You convinced yourself that she'd be checking her phone obsessively, wondering where you went, what she did wrong, desperately hoping you'd reach out. But instead of the emotional chaos you expected to create, there's just nothing. Radio silence on her end too. Think about it. You've been refreshing her social media, looking for signs that she's heartbroken. You've been crafting and deleting messages you'll never send. You've been telling yourself that any day now she'll crack and reach out first. But she hasn't, and she won't. The truth is, modern women have been ghosted before. They've learned to read the signs, and more importantly, they've learned to protect themselves. When you started pulling back, becoming less responsive, taking longer to reply, she didn't sit there confused. She saw it coming from miles away. Here's what actually happened while you thought you were playing some sophisticated psychological game. She noticed your energy shift. She felt you emotionally checking out long before you physically disappeared. And instead of chasing, instead of desperately trying to pull you back, she did something that probably never occurred to you. She started emotionally detaching too. You see, you made a fundamental mistake. You assumed that because you were slowly losing interest, she was becoming more attached. You thought your decreasing investment would somehow increase her desperation. But that's not how healthy, self-aware people operate. When someone starts pulling away, emotionally intelligent individuals don't cling harder. They start preparing for the inevitable. So while you were planning your grand exit, she was already mentally moving on. While you were congratulating yourself on your strategic silence, she was processing the relationship's end and beginning to heal. You thought you were leaving her in emotional turmoil, but you actually gave her a gift, clarity. The silence you created wasn't mysterious or alluring. It was just confirmation of what she already suspected. You weren't ready for something real. You weren't capable of mature communication. You were exactly the kind of person who would disappear instead of having an honest conversation about your feelings. And here's where it gets really uncomfortable for you. She's not missing you because she's realized something crucial. The version of you she thought she cared about wasn't real. The person who ghosts isn't someone worth missing. The person who can't handle a simple conversation about their feelings isn't someone worth pining over. You created this fantasy that your absence would highlight your importance in her life. But absence only makes the heart grow fonder when there was something genuine to begin with. When someone disappears without explanation, without courtesy, without basic human decency, their absence doesn't create longing, it creates relief. She's not wondering what she did wrong anymore. She's not analyzing every conversation, looking for clues about where things went sideways. She's not making excuses for your behavior or trying to convince herself that you're just going through something difficult. She's moved past all of that. Instead, she's probably feeling grateful. Grateful that you showed your true character early. Grateful that she didn't waste more time with someone who lacks basic communication skills. Grateful that you removed yourself before she became more invested in someone who was never really there to begin with. Think about the last time someone treated you poorly, then disappeared from your life. Did you miss them, or did you eventually feel relieved that the negativity was gone? Did their absence make you want them more, or did it make you realize how much better you felt without their energy in your space? That's exactly what's happening with her. Your ghosting didn't create a void that she's desperately trying to fill. It created space for better things, better people, better experiences. Space she's now protecting fiercely. You thought you were teaching her a lesson about your value. Instead, you taught her a lesson about hers. You thought you were making her chase. Instead, you made her run in the opposite direction. You thought you were creating mystery and desire. Instead, you created clarity and closure. She's not missing the late-night conversations because she realizes now that you were never fully present during them anyway. She's not missing the dates because she remembers how you were already mentally checked out. She's not missing the connection because she's recognized it was mostly one-sided. What she might actually miss is the potential she saw in you, the person she thought you could be, the relationship she imagined you might build together. But she's not missing you, the actual person who chose silence over honesty, disappearing over communicating, cowardice over courage. And that's the hardest pill to swallow, isn't it? That someone can look at your absence and feel not sadness, but relief. Not longing, but liberation. Not regret, but gratitude. Here's what's really driving you crazy. you're starting to realize that ghosting someone doesn't give you power over them. It gives you power over absolutely nothing. You can't control someone's emotions by withholding your presence, especially when your presence wasn't that valuable to begin with. The women who don't chase after ghosts, who don't beg for explanations, who don't fight for people who won't fight for them, they're the ones with genuine self-respect. They're the ones who understand their worth isn't determined by someone else's attention or lack thereof. You wanted to be unforgettable, but you made yourself completely forgettable. You wanted to be the one who got away, but you became the one she's glad got away. You wanted to maintain control, but you lost all relevance. She's not missing you because she's busy building a life with people who show up consistently. She's surrounded by friends who communicate honestly, pursuing goals that fulfill her, creating experiences that bring her joy. She's not sitting in the empty space you left behind because she filled that space with things that actually matter. The most brutal realization is this: your ghosting didn't break her heart. It didn't even bruise it. It just cleared up her confusion about who you really were and what you were actually capable of giving. So while you're wondering why she's not missing you, she's wondering why she ever thought you were worth missing at all. While you're checking if she's thinking about you, she's genuinely not thinking about you. While you're hoping she'll reach out, she's hoping she never has to deal with someone like you again. The silence you created was supposed to make you powerful. Instead, it made you irrelevant. And that's not her loss. That's yours. The next time you think about ghosting someone, remember this: disappearing doesn't make you mysterious. It makes you forgettable. It doesn't increase your value. It reveals your lack of character. It doesn't give you control. It shows everyone exactly how little control you actually have over yourself. She's not missing you because she's learned something you clearly haven't. That her peace of mind is worth more than anyone's attention. Her self-respect is worth more than anyone's validation. And her future is worth more than your past. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly the lesson you needed to learn too.